Okay, this is the chicken coop and chicken run. I built this last year, just before fall. Got it in before the rain started. And we've had these chickens since November, I think we got them. I think it was finally done by November. I was able to get some chickens in there. So the design of the coop is mostly due to a YouTube video that I found by Flemming. So you can search YouTube for Flemming and find his the video of his coop, and I just took his design and modified it a little bit. So the yellow coop there is mostly from his design. So anyway, this is the run, the door, and the chickens like to free range, so I'm gonna let them out right now. And so we've got 5 chickens. That's Lassie, Princess Layer, Goldie Hen, and coming up behind is Nanny. And Nanny's gonna hang out there, but chickens love to run around and dig holes in the grass. And there goes Nanny. And let's see, this is the nesting box. So it's hinged, and there's one still in there. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and sometimes they're pretty late layers. So we've got 3 nesting boxes for 5 chickens. And that in there, who is that? That's Becky in there. Got a gable vent there. I've got cedar roof, cedar shingles on both the nesting box and the roof. Oh, the chicken guard. Okay, so this is an automatic chicken door opener and closer. You can set it for sunrise, sunset, and you can adjust the amount of sunlight and sunset that it'll open or close with, or you can set it on a timer. I have it both set for a timer in the morning at 7 a.m. and sunset or later at night. This is the coop main door, and the inside. When I first built it, I had put pine shavings as their floor. It's sand now that you just get at the hardware store. It seems a lot easier to maintain. It's just like kitty litter. You just scoop it up and toss it into the bushes. So inside the nesting boxes, they've got pine shavings. Got some 2 roosts here. Just from trees in the backyard, tree branches. And there is the door, the automatic door. So I've got a string attached to a motor in that unit on the outside, and I set up some pulleys so it would open and close and not have to be right above the door. Let's see, there's the roof, ceiling. Got some insulation in there to keep it warm in the winter. I tried to put insulation wherever I could. The door is insulated. When I first built it, though, I thought I could just get away with putting some plywood up to a certain height, but the chickens were able to get to any exposed insulation. They just pecked it, so I had to cover it. I just covered it all the rest with some cardboard. Okay, the post, about half of them are in post holes that are cemented down into the ground about 2 feet. I was gonna do all of them like that, but it was a lot of work digging post holes, so I only did about half of them. and the other half are just sitting on these 2x4s, like this one here is just sitting on a 2x4, and then the other ones next to it are into the ground, into concrete. So I'll come around the back, and there's James the cat. He loves to play with chickens. This is the control box, I guess, electrical box. I've got a solar panel charging a battery here, and it gives power for the coop door. There's a light inside if I ever need it, and what else? Oh, there's a camera. So way in the corner over there, there's a camera. There's also a camera inside the coop, just because they were cheap cameras and it's fun to watch them sometimes. So I've got a solar panel display, the bottom one, and the entire system display up top. Solar charge controller off to the right. Got a light timer, but I don't really use that anymore. Some fuses, a bunch of fuses, and that's about that. Also I've got a Wi-Fi battery voltage monitor that I can monitor with my phone. So if I ever see that the battery voltage is getting too low, I can just plug it in and charge it. It's got a charger back there. So I can just plug it into an extension cord. And also in the winter, if it gets too cold, that's their water, 5-gallon water bucket. If it gets too cold and the water starts to freeze, I've got a heater element. And that's the cord for it. It comes over into this little junction box, and I can plug the heater straight into an extension cord, AC electric extension cord. And the heater will only come on if the temperature drops down to 35 or 40. Let's see. I put a rain gutter on the back. I don't know why. When it was raining and the gutter wasn't there, the rain would splash into the coop a little bit, especially on this backside because there's not much overhang. So it keeps the water from going inside the run, actually, not the coop. Built a little shelf there. This is the solar panel. It's a 50-watt solar panel. I have not really seen it get up to 50. I think the highest I've seen it get is 30 watts. But we're way up north in Washington, so we don't get as much sun as other parts of the country that are further south. So yeah, the solar panel is probably a little bit much, but it keeps me from having to keep the coop plugged in all the time. I got a little roost there. They like to hang out on that once in a while. I had one up here, higher up, where that blue tape is, but they never used it, and so it was just kind of in the way, so I took that down. The chain is for hanging like a head of cauliflower or cabbage. They like to peck at that and play with that. And that used to be a head of cauliflower on there. That little piece there, that's all that's left. So they really like that. Got their it's a 15-pound feeder. I also ferment their feed and bring it out in the morning and dump it in here. And this is the water, 5-gallon bucket. I've got a scale. It's a fish scale, and it's about 25 pounds right now. When it's full, it's 40 pounds. This water is 8 pounds a gallon. And when it gets down to about 10 pounds, then I refill it. Put some apple cider vinegar in there. And I've got I got 3 of these little red nipple thingies that they peck and they get water from that. They picked up on that really quick. I was surprised. I built them a stairway instead of a ramp. I read they don't really like the ramp. Sometimes ramps are too steep and their feet aren't really, it's kind of uncomfortable for them to go up the ramp. So I just built some stairs. Had some fun with the saw. And the stairs come off. They're attached to that top landing there with those two bolts there, U-bolts, so I can pull the stairs off if I need to. Junction box. That's for the solar panel, the power from the solar panel, and the camera. Power for the camera goes back to the camera, and the cameras are wireless. I don't know if you can see the camera in here, but it's up in there somewhere. Okay, I got some door hardware. These are pretty good locks. I forgot the name of them. I don't really use the lock at all, but yeah, it doesn't say the name. I'll get it later. I built the door with the 19 gauge galvanized hardware cloth. That's what's all around the run, and some 2x4s. So I just took some 2x4s and screwed the cloth onto there. So I wanted to keep the run pretty secure from animals. We've got coyotes, foxes, mountain lions, and bears. Haven't seen a bear, but I've heard they're around. And we've got raccoons. So it's the hardware cloth goes underground about a foot, then it comes outwards about another 6 inches, so to prevent them from digging, anything from digging. But the dogs pretty much keep the animals away lately. So I wanted to secure the whole place so that rats couldn't get in. I've got some clear plastic roofing there. Again, I forgot the name of it, Tuffex or something like that. And it's got these little styrofoam gap fillers. Oh, I've got this little lock latch here. I think I need to replace it because it's not really, the spring doesn't seem to be working. But it's got a spring lock on there to keep animals from opening the nesting box. And I'll just back up for a wide shot of the whole thing. And that's it.